BGG Board Game Gumbo. I've got my guests here, Mitchell and Logan. I think we got time for one more, looks like, games, a recap of BGG CON. And I love all the chat comments. So I know all of you guys were at BGG CON in Dallas. And just to give us some more of your stories, and we'll post them up in the chat. But one of the games I did get to play, and I think all of us but Verla played, and that is SETI. Logan, tell us about SETI. That's the search for extraterrestrial intelligent board gamers.
Well, they didn't find anybody, I guess, because they got us talking about it. But so if you don't know me, my absolute number one favorite board game is the Lost Ruins of Arnak. Always has been, probably always will be. And I love CGE. And since Arnak, I don't think they've made a great game. Putin Horror is good. They made a lot of good games.
I'd agree with that.
I've only had one play of this, and I'm already almost ready to call it. This thing is amazing. It's absolutely eye-catching. It's beautiful. It's different, right? There's 3 rotating layers, lazy Susans, whatever you want to call them. It's complex, but also it has a little bit of a Lost Ruins of Arnak feel where as long as you have resources, you can keep taking turns, right?
It's true.
And you keep going, and as long as you manage your resources and do everything, and there's so many options, it's awesome. And not too many, because I will say I love Unconscious Mind right now. That's another hot game that I've been playing a lot of. But this one didn't feel like there was as many options as something like Unconscious Mind, where there's choices everywhere, But yeah, just seeing that map and the modularity of everything, I know that this is going to have expansion after expansion. I'm already ready for my big box version. I know it's coming.
Yeah, that they can expand this thing. Steve, it looks intimidating, right?
Yeah.
And CGE games.
You read my mind.
Yeah. I know you too well, Steve. It's been so many years.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah. And I thought the same thing. And I didn't really get to teach because we only had 2 hours before whatever my next thing. I guess it was the start of the tournament. I can't remember. But we only had 2 hours and we had to fly through this thing. We didn't actually quite finish. I still had a few. We were in that last part, but still had a couple of turns left that I got to miss out on. But man, after what I did is I did the let me just try everything in the first round. So I just tried all the different mechanics. And after that, I'm like, in a way, sort of like Civolution. It looks very intimidating, but by the end of it, I kind of figured out all the mechanics. Now, how to get those points, that part I didn't figure out. But I was scoring points. But what's the most efficient way to score a lot of points? But the other cool thing about it is not only do you have that board that you get to upgrade that Logan talked about, and by the way, those tiles are everywhere. It's like, go here and you can get those tiles. Go here and you get those tiles. It's what it seemed like. But you have the spatial element of that middle board where it felt like going to the NASA Space Center. I'm like, okay, I got to get my satellite. What do they call it? The little satellite dish thing?
Probes.
Yeah.
That's what we're calling them.
I got to get my probe out onto the representation of Mars. And then I got to somehow wait for the asteroids to pass me by and then fling out to Neptune if I can. Because I had a card that gave me points for going to Neptune. And then once I got to there, I could either land or orbit on Neptune. This cool little tri-fold puzzle. And then all of a sudden we're playing the game. And then all of a sudden they're like, okay, we're going to open up the board and put some aliens out there. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
There's another board?
Once you discover, you're getting hints of alien races. And once you get 3 hints of of an alien race, it then opens up an entire new place you can go to and do. I don't want to say like the research track, but it just unlocks a whole nother part of the board, right? Like Arnak
it felt more like an area majority thing where we're racing to get the best points up there.
In a sense, you have to have the right resources and stuff. Depends on what alien race you find. But the cool thing is, like BJ was saying, if you land on the planet, well, if you get to a planet, you can actually choose to land on it. And then also, if you have the ability, you can also land on the moons, which tend to be more lucrative of those planets. And anybody who bought the game at BGG got a promotional card.
Oh.
I thought it was funny that the promotional card is actually Pluto. And if you look right there, it says not a planet since 2006. So I thought that was a little bit of a troll moment, but these are actually, it becomes your own personal moon on the board in front of you just for you to go to. But I thought it was kind of funny. They're like, yeah, still not a planet.
All right, I'm curious, Steve, Verla, what do you think? Does this interest you at all?
I would try it. It looks cool. It looks pretty.
This interests me because I think this is a relatively new designer, Tomasz Holek, I believe.
Right.
And if you go back a few years to when Wolfgang Warsch had like 3 games go bang, 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 he's got this. He's got. Thank you for changing over so quickly there, BJ. After Duga posted his comment, you had to put cat anus.
I'm trying to ignore Duga right
now. You're just feeding the beast at that point. Anyway, what
you
was
were
I
saying? Something about probing? I'm not sure. What
yeah, exactly. About probes.
Uranus.
This guy seems like he's got 3 games ready to come out. Bang, bang, bang. This Galileo Galilei, and
which looks amazing.
Look, I tried to get really, on really that good. Game. I tried to get on Galileo the entire weekend. That thing, I couldn't.
We couldn't get on the table at all.
It seems absolutely amazing. I cannot wait for it. But yes, I agree.
What's the third one? Something about a garden or something?
Tea garden.
Tea garden.
And they're all going to be, I think they're all listed as 2024 or 25 dates. I'm sure he's been working on these forever, but it's going to be like Wolfgang Warsch, who had these things and they just went poop, poop, poop. And he was
they
massive.
Finally discovered him, and then they wanted all of his stuff, right? Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, this interests me.
All right. Well, that is the one that my favorite Euro, I think was Rasafa. Maybe I'm trying to remember now what I thought, but if I had finished the game, it would have been easily SETI, and I would have bought it. Except
it was the most sold board game.
Everyone bought it.
6 of the 4 members bought a copy, if I remember right. Wow. 6 of the 4 guys that were there bought a copy. So
I saw people punching it out everywhere I went.
Jeremy.
And not just our crew.
No, not just our crew.
I have it pre-ordered. I wasn't paying. I had already ordered it for cheaper. So
what's weird is that it didn't sell out, at least as of Saturday morning. They still had some copies.
I think they're releasing so many copies a day, which was pretty smart. I went out Sunday morning before I rolled out, and they still had 5 or 6 copies left.
The reason I say it's weird is because Rob and I checked with CGE, and our first knowledge was that they weren't going to have any copies at all. It didn't make the shipment. And then I guess maybe the shipment made it, because then there was an announcement that, we will have some. We're going to ration out each day.